Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they are here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some old friends today.
Yeah.
Let's check the weather, and it looks like, well, yes, the sun will come out tomorrow. You can bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. And if you tuned in looking for some sunny disposition, well, you're in the right place, because the rays of sunshine from Saguaroo City Music Theater are back in the studio to tell us all about their production of Annie, December 20th through January 4th at the Berger Performing Arts Center. Tickets on sale now. Annie is a timeless musical that has captured hearts and generations with its inspiring story, unforgettable characters, and beloved songs. Follow the fearless young orphan Annie as she sets out on a journey to find the family she's always dreamed of, encountering larger-than-life personalities, unexpected friendships, and the ever-gruff but kind-hearted Daddy Warbucks along the way. The heartwarming production features a talented ensemble of professional and youth performers bringing energy, charm, and spirit to the stage. With show-stopping numbers like Tomorrow, It's a Hard Knock Life, and Maybe, this production is bursting with joy, humor, and a reminder that no matter how hard life gets, the sun will always come out tomorrow. No need to wait until tomorrow. Let's meet who it's a hard knock life for today, because I'm fortunate to speak with Dina DiGiacento, choreographer at Saguaroo City Music Theater. Dina, welcome back to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you, Frank.
Always with her is Drew Humphrey, director at Saguaroo City Music Theater. Drew, welcome back.
Thanks, Frank.
And we've also got new friends here. I love interviewing talented young performers. Everleigh McGill, starring as Duffy in this production of Little Orphan Annie. Welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you.
And we've also got a star right here, Little Orphan Annie herself, Abigail Barrett. Welcome to Lifestyle Tucson, Abigail.
Thank you so much.
I'm very excited to meet you and to talk all about Annie. It's a big deal in my life. I've always talked about how I love everything you guys have done, all your shows. I love going to your shows as much as I can. But Annie holds a special place in my heart with my family. My sister dressed as Annie for like Halloween. And that photo is hung in our house like our entire lives. So we always will watch Annie once in a while. And it just reminds me of my family growing up. So that's a big part of it. And also the fun part about Annie, the movie, is as you get older, the funnier it gets, because there's a lot of fun, like jokes about the government and a bunch of silly nonsense in there. That's for adults, and that's really great. But it really is all these songs that are excellent. And I'm so excited to see what you're going to do when you put on Annie. So it's really fun. But let's talk about what you just wrapped up. And let's talk a little bit about, for anyone listening for the first time, tell us just the 101 of what Saguaroo City is all about.
Well, Saguaroo City Music Theater is here to spread as much joy in a musical theater genre as we possibly can. We do like 3 different things. We produce high-quality musicals, top-tier musical theater to entertain the masses of Tucson. We provide tuition-free inclusive arts education to children and teens of all abilities. And we also have a really fun aspect of our organization where we work with local composers and creators to help foster new works and then help them present it to the public.
That's right. There's a lot. You have a space opera going on.
We have a space opera.
Okay, there's so many things. You can go check it out over at saguarocity.org. All the fun stuff is right there on the website. Tickets are available there as well. And it's really important because you can also listen to any previous episode of all the times we've gotten together. This might be our 9th time, might be our 10th. It's so exciting when we hang out.
Who's counting, Frank? Who's counting?
I love it. I count on seeing you all the time. You might actually be my last interview of the year. It's always my favorite way to kind of wrap things up because your show is really fun and it's perfect for the holidays because it goes on during the holiday season through the new year. So it's really great for family coming back into town to be able to experience this during the holidays, something to do during that winter break for kids to go see it. There's a lot of time off during this time. So it's really nice that I get to kind of close out my year every year for the past 3 years with you folks. I do love it. You just wrapped up My Fair Lady as well. Tell me about that experience, what you got out of it, how much fun you had, what you learned.
Oh, it was really great. Like, I think the thing that we learned the most as an organization is how to reach into a new audience. My Fair Lady appeals to a different subsect of the Tucson demographic that we haven't quite introduced ourselves to yet.
Okay.
And so, My Fair Lady was kind of that tool to meet a new audience and invite them into what we're doing.
Oh, there you go. Well, speaking of meeting a new audience, why don't we meet some new friends here today? because we've got some stars for what's about to happen with Annie. So I'm really excited to talk to them, to inspire other kids, to inspire other folks. That's what I like to talk to you young folks about, is really trying to get other folks involved and to find out how you both got involved with theater and the performing arts and your experience with Saguaroo City Music Theater. So let's learn a little bit about your origins. Let's talk to first Everleigh. Tell me a little bit about how you got started in the performing arts and your experience with Saguaroo City Music Theater.
I think I got started in an ELA class because my ELA teacher was also the drama teacher.
What's ELA?
It's English Language Arts.
Okay.
So, and like we were performing this little bit, and my best friend was like, you know, you could be a really good actor. And I was like, I bet I could. And I did some like day camps and stuff. And then I think I've only been in this and then Alice in Wonderland.
Okay. What did you do in Alice in Wonderland?
I was Matilda, the older sister, and then door 3.
Okay. Neat. You played a door.
Yes, it was great. I was a sassy door.
A sassy door.
Yes.
Well, it beats a curmudgeon-y tree, I'll tell you.
These are the doors that got bigger and smaller. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so fun. Okay, well, that's excellent. Tell me a little bit about, before moving on and asking Annie some questions, I want to know, like, what your favorite part of performing is.
I think that one of my favorite parts of performing is probably, like, getting the scripts and the lines and stuff and getting to, like, see it all come to life. And then, like, also getting... I feel like everyone is just, like, friends during the thing. And it's just way easier because you don't necessarily have to know anyone because you get to know them during, like, scenes and stuff.
Yeah, it's the experience itself.
Exactly.
It's being in the trenches together.
Right.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, my favorite theme of anything, whether it's real life or even a movie, is when a ragtag group of kids get together and put on a show. So that's exactly it, because that's how you make friends, and that's a big part of all this. Yeah. And let's make friends with Annie right now and pretty much ask her some of the same questions, though I do know a little of this. I was trying to Google some people. I believe you also have some experience because you were in Shrek. Weren't you Teen Fiona? Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I saw Shrek, and that was excellent. Way to go. I love that musical number. That was a very magical moment for Shrek. That was really good. Tell me a bit about your experience with everything, how you got involved with Saguaroo City Music Theater, and some more of your acting background and what you performed in.
I've done a lot of performing. I've just been doing it since I was really little. In my kindergarten talent show, I sung The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow.
No kidding.
And so it's like a full circle coming back around.
Right?
And so that's all super fun. And it's just really fun to work with Saguaroo City because they're just so inclusive, and no matter what you have going on, you're just always welcome, and it's just so fun.
Oh, that's important, and it is so fun. They're always welcome here. I always love when they come in, as I was saying earlier in a moment ago. I've got to ask you this because you can't see it in Radio Land, but Abigail is a striking redhead, perfect for Annie. Are you wearing a wig for it, though, or are we teasing that hair out and getting our hair did? What are we doing?
No, we're not wearing a wig.
I didn't think so. That's right. So what's your hairstyle going to be like? Are you going to try to get that one that was from the movie, or do you just like have nice hair that day? Because you do have glorious, nice hair, but it's a little longer than Annie.
I honestly don't know what we're going to do.
Oh, what's the plan,
Well, we're
Dina?
kind of in the works of like working with our hair and wig department to try and figure it all out. But it would be a shame to put a wig.
No, you don't want to do that at all.
Yeah.
You're not putting a wig on that.
Yeah. And our other Annie is like blonde, so
Yes.
it'll be a little bit of a different, situation. But definitely we're going to have like au naturel for Annie.
Heck yeah. How exciting and super fun. Let's ask about now the thing I care about always when it comes to the performances and all these are, have you started rehearsing yet, or are we not? You did? Oh,
We sure did, Frank.
okay, good.
It's been so much fun.
Sometimes it's like, yeah, this thing starts in about 11 days. We'll get started on it because it's a camp. But no, so you've been starting rehearsal, but you don't rehearse for too long. So rehearsals have started. Sets have started to be built, and I'm assuming all that? Yes?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's talk about some of these rehearsals and some of the sets, because I always love talking about all that, because set design is a big part of the production. What is going into some of the set pieces here for Annie?
Yeah, the trick with Annie is we've got to go a lot of different places.
Yeah.
And we got to go a lot of different places really quickly. Creating an environment for the orphanage is super important. It's the first place that we meet Annie and what life is like being an orphan in 1933. Being an orphan at any point in an orphanage can't be that easy, but particularly in 1933 in the middle of the Great Depression, it's a different it's a whole different story, especially with the mean old Miss Hannigan and
I'll
all the
say-
things that come with Miss Hannigan's personality.
Right? You could just beat children back then and then be like, get a job, I think. Or what are you, 9? So it's a much different world nowadays where these children volunteer to do this sort of thing. We're not forcing labor out of any of them. These stories are some of the things that have lasted the test of time.
Right.
Where it is the story of Annie has been going on for a long time. And let me also just jump in here because I'm a big fan of comics, kids, okay? Whether it's comic books or comic strips. Do you all have experience with Little Orphan Annie, the comic? Have you seen the comic strips of Little Orphan Annie?
No.
It's a classic. Little Orphan Annie, I believe, started as a comic strip back in the day, a long, long time ago, very famously. And then Little Orphan Annie graduates to the next form of media, radio. Little Orphan Annie has famous radio plays back in the day. That's how long Annie has really been like a figurehead in always new and modern changing media. So it's always exciting to talk about these old stories that have lasted the test of time in every form of media, from comic strips to then live action on stage and musicals and things like this, to radio shows and all this fun stuff that we've seen happen with this character throughout time, because it is just a great story. And that's what's, I think, the kind of the cornerstone of Annie. It's a great
it's a
story.
Story of hope.
Yeah.
1933 really accentuates that idea of hope. This, I think in the United States, we love a rags to riches story.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no more rags to riches story than the story of Annie going from an orphanage to living with the billionaire, Daddy Warbucks.
Yeah,
So,
they might have coined that phrase, like rags to riches.
Rags,
That is
absolutely.
exactly her story. So
yeah,
it's,
that story of hope. Set design wise, you'll get a kick out of this. Our set designer, Kyle Dixon, has layered in the back of our set. We've got a ground row of New York City in 1933, but capping it off at the top of the design is an element that makes it look like a comic strip cell.
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
and it's all black and white. And so
Really?
the set is black and white. The props are not,
Right.
all of the furniture and stuff, so that we populate it with color, with costumes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a fun little homage back to where this thing started.
That is magic. You hear that? That's the point. That's the whole thing with Annie. You see how excited I am, such a big nerd. So that's so fun. I'm really pumped for everything that you're doing and everything that's happening with Annie. Again, December 20th through January 4th at the Berger Performing Arts Center. Tickets are on sale now. You can even save some money, save 10% on those tickets by buying them over at Bookman's. And let's go back to these gals, because now you've started rehearsing, right? You're doing some of your rehearsals. You're getting in the thick of it. You're making your friends. All that is starting. You're about a few weeks away from production. What are you looking forward to perhaps the most with all of this? Let's start with Everleigh.
Dang, that's hard. I think probably I've never actually been in like a really big production before, so I'm really excited to see how it like works out. I'm really excited to see like how the entire thing fits onto the stage and how all the props and the scenes and all the lines come together in the very end. I think that's going to be really cool.
So have you seen other shows that they've put on? Did you see any of the other things, the other plays yet?
Not that I know of. There is a possibility that I have without knowing, but
yes.
not that I know of.
Being young and partying, you don't always remember your Saturday
Yeah,
nights.
I do not remember.
So let me ask Annie herself over here. Abigail, what are you looking forward to when it comes to this? Because you do have a wealth of experience. So when you're in this stage of a performance where you're getting things moving, learning your lines, starting to meet everybody a few weeks away, what are you looking forward to when it comes to opening night?
Well, my favorite part about like when the show starts is seeing it all come together, and it's like it was a thing of words and now it's real life.
Yeah.
And it's just so fun to see it all like come together, and I'm super excited to share this role with Julia Wetzel, who's playing our other Annie.
Look at this perfect segue. That's how professional she is. I was just about to say, you're not the only Annie we've got, because we have a blonde Annie earlier. So I did want to touch on that. Tell me a little bit about our other Annie actress. You know, are you making friends? Because again, you're both kind of have this shared responsibility. So do you rehearse together or maybe practice together? Are you trying to pick up tips off one another?
Yeah, I love to be near Julia because she's just got this super fun, bubbly personality, and she's super kind, and she's super talented, and she's very nice. And I love rehearsing with her because it's just like, wow, that's real talent there.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, that's super. You're so nice. My goodness. Again, making friends, one of the most important things that kids care about. I find it not just when I interview you guys. That answer has started to come up a lot more, even with these older folks. You want to make friends in the community, you go get involved, you volunteer, you make friends with people doing the things that you want to do. So making friends with all of these folks here at Saguaroo City is, again, the way to do it. And to really build up who you are, because I'm sure that she feels the same way about you with how talented, kind, and nice you've been, because I just met you, and my goodness. So what are some of your future goals? Let's look past Annie. Let's look past even high school, perhaps. What are your future goals? Do you think you want to perform when it comes to your careers, your life goals, dreams? Are you looking for a career in entertainment, or do you think this is just, I just like doing this, but I'm probably going to be an astronaut?
Well, I'm not going to be an astronaut, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just love acting. And so I feel like I want to do something eventually that goes along those lines of like acting or singing and some type of performing, because that's really so fun. And it's so fun to be able to do all those things and be able to show everybody all the things that you love and what you're feeling inside.
Oh, brilliant. I can't even stand it. This is why you bring kids here. This is my favorite thing to do, is interview smart children.
A much better interview than Dina and I.
How dare
that's
you?
Right.
All right? Stop talking so much, Drew. Anyway, let's go and ask you the same thing there, Everleigh. What are your future goals? Again, now you're just getting started here to a degree, but what are your future goals when it comes to maybe performing arts in your life?
I do think that I do want to do something revolving around acting and stuff. However, like, as a main goal, I do want to try and be a teacher.
Oh, nice.
However, I feel like that also kind of includes a bit of acting.
Yeah.
Because, reasons.
Reasons.
Yes, reasons.
Reasons are what we're talking about all day on here.
Exactly.
It's a good answer.
And, but I do really want to continue down the path of acting. Maybe not like as a genuine like profession, but more as like a hobby, but like a very serious hobby.
There you go. Very serious hobby. It's a good thing to do because all the skills you pick up now are going to help you in the boardroom. It's going to help you get a job for whatever you're trying to do, get that teaching role, all these things, and being able to stand up in front of a crowd. Well, that's what a teacher does. So yeah, it's always good to get these extra skills through the performing arts and through doing all of this. I do want to ask again, if you did have a dream role, what would be your dream role if you could play a character? Who would it be?
I have always wanted to be Hermione Granger.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Since I was like 7 years old. I have been Hermione for Halloween so many times, and it has always been my dream to be her.
There you go. Well, you never know. We'll see what happens. I'm sure they're working on a Harry Potter musical. If Beetlejuice can have one, exactly. I'm willing to bet Harry was. If they're on Broadway right now, I think, right?
I think, isn't it a play?
They're doing a play. And like original.
It's been running for a while, and I hear it's incredible.
I think the original like mean kid, I forget his name. Was it Draco?
Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, like the original actor did it.
Oh.
And people just wept.
Wow.
When he walked on stage, they just had to stop for 10 minutes. So it's a big deal. So let me ask you now, same question to our little orphan Annie over there. What is your favorite dream role, you think, as you continue to pursue? What character would you like to be?
Honestly, I don't know, because any part is an amazing part, and it's just getting to be like another person and getting to experience this other world. And so I don't even know if I have a role that I want to play, but I've always wanted to really play Annie, so this is like a dream come true for me.
There you go. There you go. So that is so exciting that you are living your dream already, working hard on these goals for what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. So I do love it. And I love everything Saguaroo City Music Theater does because you're always doing all these things. I ask anyone to listen to any previous episodes. You got a camp we talk about around summertime. That's always happening. And it is the new year about to happen. So it's always a good time to reset and try to figure out what maybe you want your kids to be doing when school gets out or what they want to do on their breaks, things like that. Get to know what's going on. But now hang on a second. Do you have any idea what you're going to perform next year? You don't have to tell me, I know. But you can give me maybe a hint. You don't have to reveal the whole thing.
Well, quite frankly, we don't know yet.
Okay.
But the time is now.
Yes.
So any ideas are more than welcome.
Oh, okay. So you got to start thinking about some of these things.
Oh, we
and
have
really
to,
be like,
yes,
what are
because
we
we typically announce our season in early March
Yeah.
of the next year. So, yeah, I mean, and we were just talking about how all of a sudden everybody's like, happy holidays. How did that happen?
I know.
So before we know it, it's going to be January. And then, these things take time. So, yeah, we got to get the wheels turning here.
Then I'll ask you this, because then this is not an answer. This is almost the same question I asked them. What is your loftiest, if you could put on a musical, if you could put on a production, what would be the one to do? As Drew goes for the mic, he's like, "Oh, I know."
I we've been trying and hoping to be able to produce a production of The Sound of Music.
Okay.
And because it fits in with so much of the mission of our organization to produce a classic piece of musical theater that people love and people are can learn a lot from, but it also involves a lot of our younger performers and youth and crosses over with our education and so that musical is touring right now, so it's hard to get the rights for it.
Okay.
But we're going to bide our time and focus on some other things and hopefully one day cross our fingers and get a chance to put that up on stage.
I bet that happens for sure. Come on. The hills are alive. So let's think about, just as we wrap up, we only got a few minutes left. What is any advice that you can give to kids? And I'll start with our adults so our kids can think about this. Just any advice that I always love trying to get people motivated. So what is any advice that you can give to any kids or kids of all ages, that's you adults, that want to give a shot? Because even the last time with My Fair Lady, the guest that you brought in, he had owned a theater in Chicago and then had stepped away from the arts and hadn't acted in decades and then moved to Tucson. He's like, he found an opportunity and he came back to it. So your theater is an opportunity for so many people, everyone of every age. Motivate some folks to get involved with Saguaro City Music Theater.
Yeah, Frank, because of like all the different aspects of the things that we do at Saguaro City and the fact that part of our mission is like community involvement, whenever anybody reaches out to us that has a real desire to get involved with theater, we try and find a way to do it. And so like almost always when I see an email in my inbox that's like, hey, I want to get involved. I just moved to town. I just got one yesterday. Somebody who's like super excited to get involved. Like you have so many different options of ways to. If you're a young person, sign up for a class. They're free. They're inclusive. Everybody's welcome. If you like want to volunteer, we have signups right now on social media for ushers and things like that to get involved with our front of house. Come see a show. We have like all different price points for everybody. And also you can come audition if you want to be in a show.
Yes.
Auditions are free. You can come check it out when we have our auditions. You just sign up on our website, on our mailing list, and we'll send you an email and let you know. But typically you can find all the information of how to get involved with Saguaro City at saguarocity.org. But like we just love having new people who are excited about theater join the family, basically. So come check us out. Ask us a question. Send us an email. There's really a place for everybody at Saguaro City.
Heck yeah. Get involved, everybody. That's the spirit. Dina knows what she's talking about. Let's ask our young folks. I'll start with Abigail. Abigail, tell me why, or tell kids why they should get involved with Saguaro City Music Theater. Motivate some folks.
Well, Saguaro City Music Theater is just like so inclusive, and they always like bring a little bit of hope and optimism, especially in this play, because that's really what it's all about. Mm-hmm. And they're just bringing it to all like of the kids who like want to do something. Anyone who has trouble finding what they want to do, they can always just join Saguaro City Music Theater because they're so inclusive and they're so open. And really, it's just so much fun to be in one of their plays because it's like all out and everything's happening and it's all just so much fun.
Heck yeah. Everleigh, same question. Wrap us up and let's get some good advice for these kids.
Like what Abigail said, it is really inclusive and fun to be with Saguaro City. And also, like what they said, it's free. So that just means that that's less of a big deal. And it's honestly so fun. And if you want to act, then you should just do it. Like you shouldn't let other people's opinions get to you because that's how you fail.
Oh, kaboom.
Like, I'm sorry, but that is how you fail.
No apologies necessary. What are you talking about? That's how you motivate people,
exactly.
Right? That's right.
And it is really fun. And I love how inclusive and how optimistic and how much they help you get better instead of just like being like, no, you're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. it's so much easier to just be yourself and act with Saguaro City.
Heck yeah, that's amazing. You don't got to plug the website, don't worry. But
I don't know.
Way to go,
I've just
all
been
right?
hearing that all day.
This is my favorite thing. This is why I love having you in as much as I do. And again, whenever you folks bring the kids in, it's my favorite thing ever. Kids, I once interviewed the cast of Willy Wonka, and it's my favorite episode. Go listen to it, right?
Yeah.
Because interviewing your kids are the best. You kids are always so impressive. You have the best answers for all these things, for getting motivated. I feel good about myself. I know these two feel really great. And I'm pretty sure everyone listening does. Because today, we made friends with Dina DiGiacinto, choreographer, Drew Humphrey, director, and we've got our talented folks here to my left. As I scroll back up, I'll let this part out. Hang on one second. There it is. Where are their names? I wrote them all at the top, but I didn't copy them at the bottom because it's Everleigh McGill as Duffy and Abigail Barrett as Little Orphan Annie right here in Tucson for Annie at Saguaroo City Music Theater when they present it at the Berger Performing Arts Center starting December 20th through January 4th. Thank you all so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. I think it is my favorite thing to close out the year with a conversation with Saguaroo City Music Theater. And it's always good to get the talented kids in here inspiring me and everyone in the room with their great answers. I really do love it. And it's so fun, so you should go support this great organization simply by attending the show as it runs at the Berger Performing Arts Center at 1200 West Speedway Boulevard. It is running from December 20th till January 4th, and you can go get tickets over at saguarocity.org. They've also got them over at Bookman's East, I believe, and you can go look online over on Instagram to make sure of that at Sag City AZ. I believe you save 10% if you go get them live and in person at Bookman's. Share this with a friend that has kids. Share this with a performer in your life so that they know there's a place to go right here in Tucson if they want to get involved with some of the creativity in the performing arts right there at Saguaroo City Music Theater. Man, I love them. So I want to thank our old friends at Saguaroo City Music Theater for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes and Spotify or wherever fine podcasts are living a hard knock life. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. And toot toot Tucson, I love you the most.